Friday. Welcome back again to a little Austin Sports Weekend with Austin the man here himself. We are going to talk some college football. We are past the championship games, past the regular season. A lot has happened in the last few days, so let's get into it. Let's go ahead and talk about the championship games first.
And we'll save that for later.
We'll save that for a little bit later. The big Tennessee Vols. Man, this has been a year for Tennessee, but let's talk about those championship games. We had a couple on Friday. What do we have?
And both of these games ended up being pretty meaningful.
Exactly.
Tulane pretty much secured a playoff berth with a pretty good 34-21 win over North Texas.
It was a little bit of a touch-and-go game there at the beginning, but Tulane, the green wave, was better than the green.
The mean green.
The mean green. So, yeah,
Tulane,
the green wave splashed on the mean green. Welcome to the playoff, Tulane. We sort of knew that they were going to be there. All they had to do
was win the game.
Was just win the game. The one we didn't know for sure,
which had an outside chance, was the next one here. Troy getting thumped by James Madison.
James Madison won by 17. That one really wasn't much of a competition.
Well, they did their part because they had a secret little... There was a little plan. There was a little, a path for them to get into the playoff with Tulane.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Now, remember this year we've only got a 12-team playoff. We really thought that this would be the first year of the 16-team playoff, but
we had some butting heads.
Panini,
Mr. Petiti.
It's a Petiti. I call him Panini. Patootie, Patootie, Patati. Patiti, Patootie, Patati. Yeah. Patiti, Patootie, Patati. He basically didn't want it. He's the one who's sort of pulling all the cards right now. Sankey's sort of cowered into the corner and just letting Petiti do whatever he wants to. We went to a 9-team SEC schedule next year, but we still didn't get the 16-team playoff. It really needs to be 16 teams, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. But we've only got 12 this year. So with Tulane winning,
Tulane's spot secured.
They're in. With James Madison winning, they've got a route in. But if they get a route in, we're going to have 2 or 3 teams left out. So let's talk about the rest of the games.
Let's reveal this game. The ACC championship was the path that James Madison had to take.
Yes, there was rumored that if Duke beat Virginia, there would not be any ACC teams
in the college football playoff. So for that to happen, that was the doomsday scenario for the ACC, was Duke to beat Virginia and then Miami be left out at the end also, because if you're not sending the ACC championship winner or Virginia, then who are you sending from the ACC? So what happened in overtime? Duke got the victory in overtime. So part of that scenario happened for James Madison.
The doomsday scenario for the ACC happened. So
half of it did. Let's explain that later.
So Virginia lost to Duke, which means Duke is not getting into the playoffs with
5
losses.
Virginia got booted.
Virginia got booted out because they couldn't beat a 5-loss team. So Duke's out. Virginia's out. Duke's crying, saying they should be in because they won the ACC.
But hey, you still got the Sun Bowl.
You still got the Sun Bowl. You still got the Pop-Tart Bowl.
And you still have a conference championship under your belt.
Duke, the ACC conference, not Florida State, not Miami, not Clemson, not Virginia Tech, but Duke. Duke. Not basketball. We're talking football here. Duke won the ACC championship.
Isn't Duke having just a swell 2025 so far?
Hey, they got you got a new coach in. You got to change the scenery, and you're a better football team. All right, let's talk about the rest of the games. But we know now that Tulane is in, and James Madison has a chance. Well, let's look at the other game.
Ohio State and Indiana. This was a slobber knocker.
13-10.
Defensive game, huh? You didn't expect a defensive game here.
Both Indiana and Ohio really didn't have that tough of a schedule this year. They had a couple of ranked teams, and that was about it. So you really didn't know which one of these teams was better. Ohio State has the better pedigree, the better players, but you didn't know.
But Indiana wanted it more at the end.
13-10. Gave up only 10 points to the powerhouse, the Ohio State powerhouse.
against a Ryan Day team. And Kurt Cignetti, this
3
thing looks,
years?
well, this is his second year on the job, and he's got Indiana as the number 1 team in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
With no doubts, because you beat number 1.
You beat the number 1, so now you're number 1.
How about that Kurt Cignetti story? It just keeps getting... He keeps getting better and better.
It keeps getting better and better. I don't know if it actually helped Indiana or not. We'll look at that here in just a second. But Indiana wins. The thing about that, Indiana wins the Big Ten. Duke wins the ACC.
That's basketball.
That's basketball. All right, let's look at the SEC.
Georgia really just thumped Alabama in this game. I'm
Time
not going
to
jump
get
to the
the
next.
monkey off the back.
And emphatically.
I mean, they did thump them. 28-7.
Alabama
it
got by
wasn't that close.
midfield, only got by midfield twice.
Georgia's defense shut them down.
I mean, there was nothing they could do.
They couldn't do anything.
And Kirby Smart has won back-to-back SEC championships.
Back-to-back SEC championships. And their defense is for real. Their offense is still wishy-washy.
As long as they get Gunnar Stockton to play consistent from game to game, that's what you need.
If it can be consistent, that defense is going to win some games. I mean, when you give up 7 points...
And you're hosting, and you don't get a home playoff game, you get a bye. So you get to sit home a week. I just wonder how that affects Georgia here.
I don't know. Some teams play better just playing through rather than taking that week off. But if you've got some injuries, you got a little twinge here, a little tweak there, that week off is huge.
And Texas Tech gets another bye. I'm not going to spoil it because they emphatically beat BYU again.
They beat the living crap out of BYU.
In the second half in particular.
34-7. Now that puts BYU out of the playoffs with only 2 losses. And their 2 losses were on the road against highly ranked teams.
The only 2 losses they had all season were to Texas Tech and Texas Tech.
Yes. And that was it.
I mean, Texas Tech, that's it. Both of their losses are Texas Tech.
And highly ranked losses. And that was the only ones they have. But that puts Texas Tech in.
As a very high seed.
So let's go ahead and look at that playoff bracket.
And pretty much...
Let's go ahead and see. Go ahead and do the ranking first. And we'll see who's in and who's out. We know Indiana's number 1.
Indiana is number 1 in the playoffs. Ohio State still is number 2.
Now that I'm a little bit confused over. When you lose a game, of course you've only lost it by 3 points. But when Georgia beat Alabama by 21,
I bet Georgia has a candidacy for being the number 2.
I really thought Georgia should jump. I'm not a Georgia fan, so I'm not calling Georgia. I'm definitely not a Georgia fan. But when
if that was,
I mean, if that doesn't show you that I'm not a Georgia fan. But when you jump up, when you beat Alabama by 21, and you don't jump ahead of a team that lost by 3, that I think Georgia should have been number 2 and Ohio State should have been number 3. But again, we'll just sort of see how the playoffs go. Who ended up number 3?
Georgia.
Georgia?
I would debate probably should have been number 2.
Yep. So Georgia and Ohio State, we think probably should have been flipped there. And then number 4 is pretty obvious. Texas Tech, because they beat the doors off of BYU.
And those are the 4 teams that will have a bye.
Those teams will have a bye. Now let's talk about who made it.
The at-larges.
And who didn't.
Number 5 is the Oregon Ducks.
Congratulations. Yay for the Oregon. They've had a good, solid year.
But the only con after this year, they're losing both coordinators.
Yeah, which is hard to do. We've seen a lot of teams lose both coordinators and then come out the next year and
just kind of look flat.
Look a little flat. So we'll see how they do. But right now they are in. And who is
number 6 is Ole Miss. They might still be bitter after what Lane Kiffin did to them.
Yeah, Kiffin ran out the door and told every story he could while he was going out the door. The offensive coordinator for the team decided to stay with the team and coach them.
I don't know how that's going to do for team morale.
I don't know either. I know they'll probably play angry this game. I was going to say either Kiffin leaving will either crush the team or it'll cause the team to gel together. The only thing that you're missing is I'm not a Kiffin fan. I'm a Tennessee fan, so I'm not a Kiffin fan. But he's got a great offensive mind.
But he just hasn't proven to me that he's the most loyal
He is not loyal. He is a hoe. He's a cheater and a hoe. He's behind your back with every other team. He's probably talked to 10 teams since he's been at Ole Miss, and finally one opened up that made it worth his while. But he's a great offensive mind, though. The thing that's going to happen, your team can gel, but when it comes to those situations that you need a crazy offensive call,
he's one of them. But he
ain't going to be there for that now.
Yeah, he's been proven to be, I'm going to go ahead and say it, a snitch.
He's little...
Just hasn't really... He's done this before.
Yeah, he turns his back whenever he smells something a little better. He is the classic, the grass is greener on the other side. The grass is green where you water it and take care of it, not on the other side.
Yep.
But, hey...
But Ole Miss, I hope they rally for their fan base.
I hope they at least win one game just to show how that's going. All right, who do we have number 7?
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
They were mostly a very strong team throughout most of the season.
They were a strong team throughout the year too, but they were another team that didn't have they had an SEC schedule, but it wasn't a super hard SEC schedule.
Maybe that Texas loss will regroup them.
I think... with Indiana and Ohio State and Texas A&M, they both three had similar schedules as far as the strength goes. But of course, Texas A&M drops down because there's so many other good teams in the SEC. Where Ohio State and Indiana wouldn't drop down because there's only 2 or 3 good teams in the Big Ten right now. All right, who do we have at number 8?
Oklahoma Sooners. And this saved Brett Venables.
They won their way into this. You got to give it to them. They beat all the teams down the stretch that they needed to beat.
Their defensive line got them into the playoffs.
Their defensive line is going to maul some people.
That defense, which is Brett Venables' specialty.
He is, yeah. And he is a defensive specialty.
As long as the offense does enough.
That's all Material has to do. Manage the game, don't screw it up.
Just don't throw interceptions.
Don't throw interceptions. Who do they have in there with them?
Number 9, Alabama. Now this
Alabama makes it in.
Now this one is a little debatable because of how badly they lost to Georgia in the SEC championship game.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think Kalen DeBoer and his guys will get ready for Oklahoma now?
I guarantee it. Matchup, baby. Matchup. A rematch
of the regular season. Oklahoma beat them in the regular season.
Yeah.
Alabama's probably looking for revenge.
They're looking for a little bit of revenge here, and Oklahoma's defense is...
Oklahoma doesn't have home field.
And Alabama does struggle against great defenses. We've seen that with Georgia and with Oklahoma now. So we'll just sort of see how that goes.
Will Oklahoma bite them again?
We'll have to see. How about number 10?
Miami. So the ACC does get it.
Miami's in. Alabama makes it in. Miami makes it in.
Now, how do you think Mario Cristobal is going to do on the road against Texas A&M, though?
I don't know. Texas A&M, again, it's like Ohio State and Indiana. You just still don't really know how great they are because they haven't played.
As long as he doesn't go turtle shell, which
as long as he don't go turtle shell.
That.
Miami's got a decent team. We'll just sort of have to see how they go.
On the road in the 12-man environment is going to be a pit.
It is going to be a pit. That is the advantage of making the playoffs in the lower levels is you actually get a home game.
And you have some chance.
I actually sort of like that.
Yeah,
I wish they would do that through the second round and then just make the championship games at the end of the bowl games. But we have what we have. Who made it in after Miami?
Number 11, the Tulane Green Wave.
Oh, Tulane's in and they're not number 12.
Which probably gives it away who's number 12. But so let's talk about the Green Wave here.
Tulane honestly should have been in, you have the 4-4 to 2-2-1. They should have been the 1. The lower tier strongest team. Tulane earned that title.
They did defeat Duke during the regular season. So
and Duke won the ACC.
So that is a good feather in their cap.
That's definitely a good feather. So Tulane actually earned it. With the current format, Tulane definitely earned it.
And congratulations, they're SEC school in spirit. Because they have history in the SEC.
One of the original SEC teams, Tulane Green Wave.
Yeah, LSU and them have a rivalry that's sort of not being played, but it's the battle for the rag.
Yeah.
But they might not be here next year again because their head coach is being swiped by Florida.
Yep, Florida's taken... There's a lot of head coaching moves this offseason. A ton of head coaching moves. we'll just sort of see how all of that pans out in the end. All right, who's our number 12 then? We know
James Madison.
Our last team in is James Madison.
And they're also losing their head coach to UCLA after the season. So he's going to stay aboard for the playoff game against Oregon. I don't know if those guys have much of a chance. But
I don't know. Oregon, going to Oregon for James Madison probably don't have that much of a chance. But we'll sort of cover those games here in a separate video. Get into
they
a little
were
bit
known before for their
with them.
FCS success. Now that's their first in the FBS level.
But what we do need to mention is the teams that did not get in. Number 1,
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
And they did kind of chicken out of a bowl game, which I'm not a fan of.
Don't be a big giant baby like Florida State. You see what happened to Florida State after they creamed out of a bowl game. They have been a disastrous, chaotic mess ever since that, because the team just probably wanted to play, and the crybaby people, the AD and the crybaby coach didn't want to play because they didn't get in the playoffs, and they lost the team. And that team, Norvell, the only reason he's there is because they don't want to pay him the money. He lost the team. I wonder if this will happen with Notre Dame or not. I don't know. But they chickened out of the bowl game. We don't even want to play a bowl game if we ain't getting in the playoffs.
And then they had a secret contract signed where if they got in the top 12, they get immediate playoff seeding.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just too much.
Another team that didn't get in.
Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt should have been
a 10-2 record in the SEC, and you don't make it in. Texas didn't make it in. Honestly, the one that had the strongest strength of schedule and just as good as record as all of those, BYU.
Yeah, BYU.
BYU had a strength of schedule
11-2 record
and a strength of schedule of 22,
and only losses
higher than Miami, higher than Notre Dame, higher than all those people, and BYU didn't make it in. So, yeah.
There's going to be some talking and controversies about this.
The 12-team playoff was a disaster. I mean, right there's 4 teams that you could have put in and had a great 16 team.
But
put in BYU, put in Vandy, put in Notre Dame, put in Texas. How nice would that been to have those 4 teams in there playing some playoffs? That would have been, I would have loved to have seen that. But we got 12, so 12 it is.
I mean, I'm not going to take away from what Tulane and James Madison did.
No,
I mean, you win your conferences and you win 11 games each.
No.
I think James Madison won 12 games, and then Tulane has won 11 games.
Yeah.
So I can understand.
Yeah. The only, I mean, with the current layout, I can understand Tulane. The only one I'm not for sure is James Madison. I mean, if James Madison would have played Texas or Vanderbilt or Notre Dame,
they probably would have lost.
They'd have lost by 20. So you're not getting your 12 best teams. So again, we need those 16. The 16 would have really made this year a spectacular thing. But that's it. That is the playoffs. That is the championship games, and that is the playoff layout for this week. Whenever we get another week closer or so, and we see who's going to play and who ain't going to play, and which players are going to lay out and which players ain't going to lay out.
Yeah.
Then we will see who's healthy and who ain't. Then we'll talk about the championship games.
Do you want to discuss this? Something really big happened.
Just real quickly, Tennessee no longer has
Tim Banks
as their defensive coordinator, and that's been coming for quite some time, to be honest.
And Heupel will officially let Banks go on Monday.
Yeah.
I just wonder how much they're going to buy him out.
I don't know. We'll just it's $4.3 million is what they're going to have to pay him, but that's a small price to pay to move on and be done with it.
Now Halsley's status, we don't know. We don't know about Halsley yet, but Banks we know is done.
Yeah, Banks is definitely done,
and we've had some
Tennessee's
names.
looking.
We've had some names come up for the new defensive coordinator. Ryan Walters from Washington's been a main name.
Yeah, he's the one we've heard the most about now.
We've rumored about Will Muschamp, which would be interesting.
Muschamp, and then there's a couple more coordinators.
Right, Jim Knowles.
Yeah,
could come here.
Yeah, so honestly, we should probably get one within the next week or two, because I would say within the next week. The portal opens January 2nd and is only open for 2 weeks till January 2nd, January 16th. It's the only time that the portal's open. So you need a coach in a couple weeks before the portal opens to start talking to kids and saying, come on over here. If you ain't got anybody in there, they can't say, come on over here. So I'm expecting within the next week that Tennessee fills up that defensive coordinator spot.
I wanted to say a post-mortem for Tim Banks' tenure here, but I think this whole season's already...
I appreciate him coaching for Tennessee. And
this year's just been a mess.
We had some hopes after last year, but this year...
was just kind of a mess.
Yeah, we gave up an average of 40 points against ranked teams, which is unacceptable. So
it's just
something just had to happen. And Hopple knew it had to happen, so it happened. And we just hope going forward we can get somebody in there.
His first coach he's let go as a head coach.
Ever. So, yeah.
Well, I don't know
sure
if
it
you want to
wasn't
have
fun.
that fun distinction there.
I'm
It's
sure it
not
wasn't fun, but so...
Sometimes you have to make changes for the betterment of the program.
Yep, and that's what had to happen. All right, we hope you had a little fun with us. That is the college football look ahead. We will jump into the championship games here next week.
The
cover
playoff
those.
games and the bowl games.
The playoff games and the bowl games. We will cover those
and we will
the next couple
our
weeks.
Shift.
Into
college basketball season's heating up.
College basketball season's heating up, so we're going to start covering some college basketball too. We hope you had a little fun with us. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share us with your friends out there. Leave a comment, something.
Yes, please.
And we'll see you
next week.